Alright guys, hello. Just doing a very quick mic check. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Hello Julia, welcome back. Alright, it sounds like we are live, we are good, and we are ready to go. So, this is our speaking live stream brought by popular request. You guys asked for us to continue this speaking series, and that is what we are doing today. Again, for you guys who are just joining us, this is part 2 of the live stream. As you guys can see, we already did a lot of work with vocabulary and getting good sentences down and looking at common mistakes that people make. All of these sentences are sentences that you guys came up with, which was fantastic, and it's what we need you guys to be doing today as well. These speaking live streams don't really work if it's just me talking at you guys. It only really works if you guys are interacting. So when you guys join, please say hello, and also make sure that you guys give sentences and ask questions in the live chat. One last thing, just before we get started. By the way, today we will only be doing one thing. You guys came up with these questions, part 1 questions, part 2 questions, and part 3 questions, and this is what we are going to be doing today. We are just going to be answering these, hopefully with you guys giving answers, and then me also giving some high-level answers as well. So, one last thing before we get started, remember that you guys can look at this document yourself if you guys go to YouTube and then the IELTS Grind, and then look, there we are, it's live. Please make sure you guys do 2 things. Number 1, make sure that you are live. If you are watching behind in the playback, it is not too good. We need interaction here, so please make sure you press this live button. Make sure you press that like button, and finally, make sure that you hit the Google document. It is open for everyone to see sentences and what we are working with. Again, this is for you guys to not get lost, and you guys can look at it at your own time. Alright guys, time to jump on into this. So, let's start answering these questions. What's going to happen is I'm going to ask you guys to please write your own answers to these questions in the live chat, and then I will be critiquing you. I'll be telling you whether or not the grammar and vocabulary works or not, and then I will also be giving my own answers. Now, obviously, you guys writing your answers in chat is great for finding out if your vocabulary and grammar is right. However, it's not helping you guys with fluency and what do you call it? Pronunciation. Yes, that's right. So remember, if you guys want feedback on that, please send us your speaking files to corrections@theieltsgrind.com, and me and Phil will be happy to help you there. So let's get started with this. We're going to start with part 1. This live stream won't be too long, don't worry. It won't be like last time where it was more than an hour. That's way too long. So, can you guys tell me some answers to the part 1 questions? What technology can you use very well? What piece of equipment do you like to purchase? Would you like to purchase in the future? Please be careful of the grammar here. Okay. What kind of tool do you use in your company? And this could also be technology. What kind of technology do you use in your company? Alternatively, they could be saying at work. Thank you, Jalen. Happy Dragon Boat Festival. Thank you for joining me on a holiday. I know most of you guys in Taiwan are stuck inside because of COVID, just like me. So I hope that this live stream is a little entertaining for you guys. Yes. Okay. So make sure you guys write answers to these questions, and I will help you out. And then finally, do you like purchasing new types of technological devices? Are you into technology? So please give me some answers here, guys. In the meantime, I will also be writing my own answers, just so that you guys can see, but please make sure you put your answers in chat, because just looking at my answers will not help you nearly as much as if you do it yourself. Active learning is always better than passive learning. Remember, when you are answering these questions, you should be direct. Don't set up the context first. You guys should be answering the question first and then giving the supporting details. This is what English speakers do. We're very direct, and we're also low context. What this means is that you have to say everything. You have to say every connection. It's the speaker's job to make the connections, not the listener's job. This is very different from a lot of other cultures. For example, in Chinese, in the Chinese language, the listener or the reader needs to make the connections in their head. So when Chinese speakers are trying to speak English, they often miss some connections, which makes it really hard to understand. So guys, please give me your answers to your questions in chat. I will give you guys 1 or 2 minutes to do so, and I will be writing my own answers in the meantime. Alright, any new people here? Make sure you guys write answers to these questions in chat so I can help you out. Yeah. Remember guys, this is an interactive live stream, so you guys need to be talking in chat for us to keep going. I believe in you guys. You can do it. Don't be shy. Mistakes are how you learn. And if you guys have a perfect sentence, well, that's crazy. Yes, exactly. Any of these questions, Julia. If you could answer this question or this question, you don't have to answer them in order. Just give any answer. So, for example, what technology can you use very well? I'm pretty good at using Microsoft Word and Excel. I actually have a certificate for it, which is true. I got it way back in high school, 10 years ago. All right, Julia, thank you so much for that answer. You are the super student. You are my favorite student at the moment. Thank you for being alive. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just copy and paste just to save time. And we will analyze it a little bit here. Now, first of all, I want to say you did a fantastic job at being direct. This is fantastic. This is exactly what I was saying before. You need to answer the question directly. What technology can you use well? I'm good at using my smartphone. Also, this is super because you're saying it in a different way. The examiner looks out for that. Do you use synonyms, or do you just copy the exact structure that is in the sentence? It shows that you're a higher level English user. Now, let's take a look at these details. By the way, while I'm analyzing Julia's answer and giving my own answers, make sure you guys are leaving comments in chat. Answer these questions in chat, and I will help you out just like I am helping out Julia. Again, Julia, thank you so much for giving this response. You are awesome. To continue, I like downloading new apps and experimenting with them. This is an okay detail to follow up, because she's talking about how she uses her smartphone. It's perfectly fine. It could be a little bit better if you were talking about how you are good at using it. Just as an example, over here, my supporting detail was saying, I am so good at it that I have a certificate. So this is fine. It's not off topic. It's just, if you could say, you're saying why you like it, not why you are good at it. So let me just leave a little note here. Say why you are good at it, or how you are good at it, not why you like it. So thank you so much, Julia, for putting this out, because honestly, this is a really common thing that happens. All right. And the grammar is perfect. The vocab is perfect in her sentence. She will have a good vocab and grammar score. Fluency and cohesion is what kinds of affected here. But honestly, this is still a level 7 sentence, because you can be slightly off topic and still get a 7 for fluency and cohesion. 8 is when you have really good topic development. So this is a great sentence. Down here, though, again, this is further off topic, because you're saying why you like it. This is how you use it. It's not saying why you are good at it or how you are good at it. So I would actually stop after your first detail. That's my recommendation. All right. Then you have another answer. Julia, you are on fire. By the way, Jalen, don't be shy. Put your own out there. And this goes to everyone else who's watching as well. Okay. And Julia says for her next one, by the way, fantastic grammar again, Julia. You're nailing it. I really like the fact that you're using a contraction right off the bat. This will help both your pronunciation and your grammar if you're using them like a native speaker does. Native speakers are lazy. We are very, very lazy. We don't like to say every single word. We like to use contractions whenever we can. So I'd like is much better than I would like. I'd like to buy a new smartphone. Mine is a little bit glitchy. Ooh, nice high-level word used correctly. So I'd like to buy a more reliable smartphone. This is fantastic. This is a fantastic connection that she made, because it's directly connected to glitchy. This is also a good answer because it's the right length. You have to answer a lot of questions in 5 minutes, and so you don't want your answers to be way too long. This is the right length for an answer. Let me give you another high-level example from myself. What piece of equipment would you like to purchase in the future? I'd love to get a new gaming computer. And honestly, my answer isn't going to be too different from Julia's, just because Julia's answer here was really focused. The one I have now is getting a bit old, so I can't play the newer games that I want to. Now, just to add one more detail, I'm saving up for it now, so I hope I can get one in the next few months. Just a few things I want to point out. I'm being a bit colloquial here. I'd love to get. This is when you're speaking, the speaking part of the IELTS exam is not formal. So in task 2, you have to be semi-formal. In task 1, you have to be extremely academic and formal. But during the speaking test, it's perfectly fine to use colloquialisms, or words that we use, or phrases that we use just in spoken English. So you don't have to be too formal when you're speaking for this one. By the way, hello, Anonymous Chameleon. Welcome. So glad to see someone jumping on. And remember, all you guys can by just clicking this link in the description. Also, please make sure you are live. Okay. So, I gave a reason and an explanation for the reason. And one thing that I want to point out is that I used a relative clause here. If you guys can do that, this is high-level grammar that they want to be looking out for. Okay. And then, again, this is connected to my idea. I'm saying when I'll probably get it. But let's go back to the submissions. Julia and Jalen, you guys are my favorite students right now for putting in your own answers. Let me do Julia's second one, and then I'll get right to you, Jalen. Do you like purchasing new types of technological devices? Are you into technology? Let's just put her answer right under. No, I'm not a geek. Okay. I like this one, Julia. So a geek is, and let me just put this on the next page so it's clear for everyone. A geek is a high level, it's a little bit of an insult. It used to be an insult. It's a lot more normal now. So geek is someone who's really into something. They're so into something that they're a little bit of a weirdo. They're a bit strange because they like it so much. So common collocations are a band geek, someone who loves band in high school, a theater geek. But we can also just use it in a general term to talk about people who are a little bit strange and they like things too much. So a tech geek, or someone who's really into technology, you could call a geek. Generally, these people like wear glasses, they have acne. That's the stereotype of a geek. Great one, Julia. So no, I'm not a geek. I don't like spending too much time. So get rid of this. Just a little typo here. Spend too much time checking out the available information and reviews on different devices. I usually rely on advice from more technically experienced people. This last thing I would actually just get rid of because it's not directly connected to the question up here. So this is about, do you like purchasing new technologies, or are you into technology? This is more of the second one, really. You really need to add a clause here to make it better. Usually, I'm going to add that here. If I do need to get a new gadget, this is kind of what I was talking about with English speakers are stupid. Sorry, not English speakers. English listeners and English readers are stupid. It may be obvious to you that this clause is in there. Usually I rely on advice from more technically experienced people. But you really need to say this. If you do not say this clause, then it is wrong, because an English listener would not understand how it's connected to what you were saying earlier. Also, we can improve the technically experienced people. That's okay, actually. That's okay. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to say that. I rely on advice from... Oh, by the way, also small typo here. So usually if I need to get a new gadget, I rely on advice from more technically experienced people. Okay, that's fine. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a better way to say that. It's a little strange, but it's okay. But overall, first part was fantastic. Second part would be great if you have this clause inside. All right, now we're going to get to Jalen. And remember, guys, keep giving me more answers. Don't be shy. Don't be a zombie, as we talked about yesterday in the writing course, there were a lot of zombies there. We had people watching. We had 40 people watching, but no one was talking. It broke my heart. Don't break my heart. Make sure you guys give your own answers like Julia and Jalen. So let's put Jalen's in. For example, I'm doing well at laptop. I would like to interview with people during COVID pandemic. All right. Let's see if we can fix this up. Jalen, thank you so much for being a super student and giving a answer. This is obviously for the first one. Okay. So what technology can you use very well? I can see why you were trying to use this word. This is a discourse marker. It's giving some extra information to the listener, but it's not okay here. You should be giving an example after you give like a reason. You shouldn't start with an example. So what technology can you use very well? Let's see if we can fix this up a bit. I'm pretty good at using a laptop. All right. Alternatively, if we want to use the same words, we can say, I can use a laptop pretty well. And then let's look at the details. So we're just fixing the grammar a little bit right here. I would like to interview with my employers during COVID pandemic periods. So this is an example of using the wrong type of grammar when you're connecting your ideas here. We use would. So what you should be saying is, why can you use it well, or how you are good at it. So I'm pretty good at using a laptop. I can do a lot of things on it very well. Now we would use, for example. So Jalen, can you tell me something that you're good at doing on a laptop? This could be anything. It could be gaming. I'm great at gaming. Or, for example, I'm a super fast typer. Or, for example, or we can go a different way. Instead of saying, for example, we can say, I can do a lot of things really well. My friends, like Julia, usually ask me for help when she is having tech problems. Okay. Because as we know, Julia is not a geek. So these are, and let me just make this clear that these are all different ways to continue this. So this is how you should be supporting your detail. Jalen, fantastic. Thank you for being brave and putting your answer out there. Really, really good. And here's how I would fix it. Okay, because again, this I would like to interview with my employers. This is not connecting to why you are good at using a laptop or how you are good at using a laptop. All right, it looks like this was a pretty common problem, so I'm really glad that you guys gave these answers, because trust me, you are not alone. Many, many students have this problem where they give supporting details that don't exactly connect to their main point. This is true for higher level English users, and it's true for lower level English users. And really, it's a comprehension problem. This is probably really similar. Let me see if I can be psychic while you guys are continuing to answer questions. By the way, we are going to do, if you guys could please answer this question, what kind of tools do you use in your company? I really think you guys should try to answer this one before we move on. Can you answer this question? What kind of tool do you use in your company, while I continue giving you guys advice? Julia, Jalen, let's see if you guys can do it. Can you answer this question? And this is also true for anyone else who is watching. please give your own answer so I can help you with your vocab and your grammar. So, while you guys are writing, I have a feeling that you guys probably have this problem. You are reading something, and you can understand every word in the sentence, but you don't understand what the sentence means. Or you understand the sentences in a paragraph, but you don't understand what the paragraph means. This is an example of having low reading fluency. So obviously this is when you're reading. This carries over into speaking. It's a comprehension problem. The best way to improve or get over this problem is if you read for fun. So this is something that I make my students do if they're in my class. Every single day, I make them read for 20 minutes every day. I don't make them read something that they hate. I let them choose what they want to read. If you want to read YA novels, so something like The Hunger Games or Maze Runner, you can read those books. If you like to read novels, read a novel. If you like to read articles in newspapers, read those. But the important thing is that you read all the time. Input is the best way to improve your language ability, honestly. Just give yourself more and more and more English in your life, and English will become easier to use and understand. And reading is the best way to boost your vocabulary. All right, it looks like Julia is giving an answer to part 3. So it looks like people want to go to part 3. Again, I highly recommend you guys answer this question, but we will move on to part 3 now. Okay. Let's go to part 3. Julia is answering, do you think technological advancements is a positive or a negative trend? I'm sorry, my grammar there is a little weird. Do you think our technological advancements has been mostly positive or negative? Honestly, I'm sorry, my grammar previously was a bit weird. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at Julia's answer to see how she did. Let me just put these over here. First one. Second. And I'm assuming that these are all connected, but she's typed them over a couple different things. So all right, let's take a look at this whole thing. So do you think technological advancements are positive or negative? Let me change it one more time. This is probably closer to the truth here. Okay. And then she says, in my opinion, the ubiquitous progress in technology is a good thing. Ubiquitous, I don't think this quite means what you think it means. It sounds a little wrong in this context. You guys are going to see me cheat really fast. Ubiquitous. I believe this means, it doesn't mean unique. Give me 1 second. So present, appearing, found everywhere, ubiquitous. Yes. The ubiquitous progress in technology. So here I would probably say of technology is a good thing. Okay, ubiquitous is fine. You beat me, Julia. It's fine to use it in that context. I don't know why it sounded weird to me. Oh geez, apologies. I'm sorry if I scared you or any pets that you have that had to hear that. My sneezes can be quite violent. Okay. So the ubiquitous progress of technology is a good thing. Technology helps us at work, for studying, communication, entertainment, medicine, etc. This is really good. And it directly answers the question. Okay. It goes without saying that there are certain dangers related to technology. Know the. If a person gets addicted to certain devices and activities, it will be detrimental to their mental and physical health. If you want to have a higher level way to say health, you can say well-being. Okay, but this is a fantastic supporting detail, really on point. Overall, as I see it, the advantages of using technology outweigh its disadvantages. Sorry, no apostrophe. All right. No, this is a fantastic answer. Yeah, it's directly on point. If there was one thing that I was going to point out, it would be this is very close to being a concession. So like I said, the grammar's fantastic. Vocab's fantastic. It's mostly on point. However, I would add a little something here. So in English, in discourse, when you're speaking, there are things called concessions. A concession is when you say that someone else is right, but you don't want to do that too much because it will weaken your argument. So like I said, her answer is fantastic. If she said this exactly as I changed it on the IELTS exam, it would be a great answer. However, if you're looking for something higher, like 8 or 9, what you need to do is you need to make sure that your arguments are strong, that they are well connected to each other. What I mean by this is if you're going to say the opposite view when you are talking about your opinion, you have to make sure that that it still supports your view. It still supports your side. You're saying that technology is better, and this last sentence does do a really good job of explaining that, but your overall argument is still a little weak because you're saying other people are right. I am a little bit wrong. So what I would recommend you do here is you say, it goes without saying that there are certain dangers related to technology. If a person gets addicted to certain devices and activities, it will be detrimental to their mental and physical well-being. However, this is not a widespread problem. Or, however, these negatives can be limited, supplemented, addressed through other technology. Or, however, what's another thing that we can do to counter the dangers related to technology, like addiction? However, the negative impacts are actually quite small or quite minor. Let's use higher level words here. So again, the green, choosing one of them would make your argument stronger. Just because if you don't have the green here, you're basically saying, I think that it's good, I think that it's bad. Overall, the good outweighs the bad. All right, I hope that's clear. Like I said, her answer itself, pretty darn good. This is just making it a little bit better. Adding this detail would bring it up to, let's say, an 8 or even a 9. All right, Julia, you are on fire. Thank you so much for all of these submissions that you're giving. And don't be shy, guys. Put in your own answers. Yes, Julia, you are awesome. Thank you for being a super student. Yes, but guys, don't be shy. Put in your own answers. Even if it is lower level English, that's perfectly okay. You don't need to have answers that are as awesome as Julia's. this live stream is for everybody. So let's put in another couple of Julia's answers and fix them here. Again, remember, this is only helping the grammar and vocab. And even then, you may still be making mistakes when you're talking. It's a lot harder to talk naturally with perfect grammar and vocabulary than it is to type it out when you can think about what you're going to say. So again, I highly suggest that you send me and Phil at corrections@theieltsgrind.com. Please send us your own submissions of your speaking, and me and Phil will be happy to let you know how you did. All right, but let's continue. Julia has some more great answers. So, what kind of tool do you use in your technology? The only tool that I use for work is a desktop computer. Julia has another fantastic answer here. Okay. So, and by the way, unless we have any more submissions after this one, we will be jumping into my advice, my suggestion for how you can make test part 2 of the speaking test a lot easier on yourself. But let's finish helping Julia out here. So, what kind of tool, probably better to say technology, do you use in your company or at work? The only tool that I use for work is a desktop computer. Really good right here, because she's using different language from the question, but it has the same meaning, showing your wonderful vocabulary muscles. Is a desktop computer. Nice. This is actually what we call it as native speakers, and it is higher level. Nice. There is a lot of different linguistic software that I utilize. Good job using a relative clause. Really happy to see that. That I utilize. This is a little bit tricky because the grammar is fantastic. The vocab is fantastic. Utilize is a very high level word to be using here. Though if I'm thinking about it as a native speaker, even though it's their correct use, the tone in the IELTS exam is not so formal. Like, for example, using this word utilize would be fantastic in task 2 because it's quite high level and academic. Again, if you said this, it would boost your vocab score. But this is what I'm talking about here is like the difference between an 8 and a 9. Yes, it's correct. Yeah, okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay. For example, I use Sketch Engine, which is a tool used for analyzing linguistic corpora. So we have a linguist in the audience. Nice. Okay, so this is fantastic. What she showed here is she's using 2 types of relative clauses. I'm going to write out the names here, just in case anyone is interested. So she uses a defining relative clause and a non-defining relative clause. Okay. This that I utilize is a defining relative clause, which is a tool used for analyzing linguistic corpora, is a non-defining relative clause. These need a comma, add extra information, and a non-defining relative clause defines, or basically says which one. All right, so this would give her a fantastic high grammar score because she's using 2 different types of relative clauses. She's using them correctly, and yeah, fantastic. All right, Bin Nguyen, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for giving your answer. You are also a super student. Welcome to the super student group. Let me see. There are a host of rationales why some may not favor technology. for one, so this is going back to the part 3. Awesome. Okay. And by the way, again, if you guys want to see all the questions, this is the first question, second question, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. There's so many questions here. What you guys can do is you can answer any of them. If I'm going too fast going through on the live stream, don't forget that you guys can be like the anonymous chameleon. No one will know that you're here. If you guys go here, make sure you press the live button, make sure you press the like button, and finally you can see the document by clicking right here. This document will be up here forever. It has some great vocabulary in the beginning, and then of course if you scroll on down, you can see the questions that we are answering. And you guys can write your own answers in chat, just like Bin. And Raghav, welcome. Thank you guys, and welcome. I'm so glad you guys are chatting. More super students. Fantastic. So, going back to Bin's, sorry for my mispronunciation of your name. Let me put this with the right question. So he's answering the first one. Do you think technological advancements are positive or negative? And let's put this down here. Okay. And let me put his whole answer here. And Raghav has also given an answer for this first one. Let me just make it clear that these are different people's answers. Okay. So, there are a host of rationales we need to add for, or of, why some may not favor technology. Okay. For one, the development of tech is so fast that many find it difficult to get the hang of the novel technological gadgets, or we need to change this to their functions. Okay. I have to say the vocab is great. The grammar is great, especially the second sentence. Honestly, the second sentence is beautiful. However, I do need to point something out here. The question is, do you think? And so this is another problem that I often see. His first sentence, it is a beautiful high-level sentence. A host of rationales. Very, very high level. However, he's not directly answering the question. He's saying that some people may not favor technology, but he's not saying if he favors technology. Now, this could be fixed if he goes on to talk about his own opinion. But again, you've got to make sure you directly answer it. So again, vocab's great, grammar's great. Just make sure that you're more direct in your next answer. Okay. And then let me just add another horizontal line here. By the way, anyone can be asking these questions. Oh, you're answering the subsequent question. Okay, my mistake. Ah, haha, I see. So in that case, it is perfectly fine. By the way, sorry for the delay. There is about a 30-second to a 1-minute delay between when you hear my voice and reality. So I apologize if I'm missing some things. All right. So, I see it now. Okay, so now that we look here, what are some reasons a person may not like using a technology? Okay, then this is a perfectly good answer. My apologies, Bin. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Again, I'm sorry I'm 2 minutes late there. Okay, before we keep moving on to your second question, Bin, let's take a look at Raghav's. there is a myriad of equipment that I use for my day-to-day errands. So this is answering back here with the question number 1. Okay. And let's insert a line really fast to make it clear that these are different people. And let me just throw this on. Now, this is a great way to start a sentence, Raghav. It really is. However, even though there is some fantastic high-level vocabulary that is used correctly, for example, for my day-to-day errands, beautiful. This is also what a native speaker would be saying. I would highly recommend that you add more. Yes. For example, give a specific example if you can. This just makes your answer a bit stronger. Of course, yeah, it would make it stronger. In part 1, the examiner is only going to ask you one question, or they're mainly going to ask one question, and that is why. Sometimes if there is a question like this, they may say, what? Can you give me an example? But he's not actually saying what tools he's using. So it does answer the question. It does use high-level vocabulary, but it's not actually answering the question. What kind of tool or technology do you use? He says, oh, I use a lot of them. But that's not answering the question. So I hope, Raghav, that you give some more details here, and then I can add them. Just to give you a few examples, I use everything, just to give you some higher level vocabulary here, I use everything from a calculator to a workout bike at my job. A myriad means a wide range, so I don't know what job requires both a calculator and a workout bike. If you can tell me, you'll get bonus points. But yes, give a specific example if you can, Raghav. That's my advice here. All right, moving on to Bin's next answer. Currently, I tend to use Microsoft Word, such softwares such as Microsoft Word. Okay, it looks like these are also for the same question. So again, let me just insert a line and then copy this over. By the way, guys, you guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much for giving me these things to help you with. I'm really happy to help. This is something I like to do. So currently I tend to use Microsoft softwares. I use a lot of, so first get rid of the S. Software is non-countable. I would also add a lot of Microsoft software. It sounds better when you do that. Such as Word or PowerPoint. Fantastic. These amazing platforms, okay, can come in handy whenever I give a presentation or present a huge amount of information. Okay. Come in handy. Fantastic. Can come in handy. This I'm going to put in orange because it does fit here. It really does. However, I want especially lower level students who are watching this stream to please be careful because you can misuse can very easily. Do not put can everywhere. It should only be used in whenever you're talking about ability, what something can do. Hello, Anonymous Cheetah, welcome. Okay. But in this context, it's okay. Just be careful. Don't always use can. Really, I would actually get rid of it. It's okay as it is, but it's also okay to just say these amazing platforms come in handy whenever I want to. Whenever I want to is fine. Give a presentation. That works with PowerPoint. Present a huge amount of information. This is, again, it's fine. It would easily get you a 7. To get an 8, you need to make sure that your topic development is coherent and high level. That means that it connects well. PowerPoint for a huge amount of information, or Word for a huge amount of information, it's a little bit strange. That's a weird connection to be making. Again, it's not terrible. It's not wrong. It's just a little strange. All right, guys. By the way, don't be worried if your answers are not perfect. If you guys spoke perfect English, I would not have a job. So keep them coming. Keep giving me more stuff here. Let's see. Jalen has another one. Jalen, thank you so much for being brave. And really quickly, I'll answer Julie's question about day-to-day errands. Day-to-day errands, let me see, it's right here. For my day-to-day errands. Day-to-day errands means things, errands is a synonym for chores. So things that you need to do every day. So just day-to-day errands you may need to do for your home would maybe be buy groceries. You need to go to the grocery store to buy some food, pasta, plastic bags, cleaning supplies. Another day-to-day errand may be cleaning your house if you're a good person. If you're like me, that may not be a day-to-day errand. It may not be something you do every day. He's specifically talking about work. So day-to-day errands may be, he may need to compile a report. He may need to analyze something. He may need to write a report or a memo for a boss. These are some examples of his day-to-day errands. Things that he needs to do every day. Really good question, Julia. Thanks for that. Okay. And then let's keep going because Jalen had another answer. When it comes to use tool in my work, I almost communicate through real-time software with my coworkers. So that's another one for what kind of tool or technology do we use. Thank you so much, Jalen, for giving us a question to work on. Fantastic. Thank you. Let me, again, add another horizontal line. And let's take a really quick look to see how we can help Jalen. Okay. By the way, I'm starting to see, while I'm moving Jalen's answer over, I'm starting to see a common thing starting to pop up where I see this a lot, and I want to tell you guys who are listening right now, you need to make sure that your answers, that the vocabulary that you're using is not only that you're using the vocabulary correctly. I see this happen a lot. This is not connected to Jalen's answer. It's connected to other answers that I'm seeing in chat where you know you need to use high-level vocabulary, and so you just try to fit it in. You learn a high-level word in a dictionary, and then you're like, I'm going to use this word in my IELTS exam, get a high vocab score. The vocab score is not only about do you use extremely high-level words. The vocab score of the IELTS exam is do you use the correct vocabulary when answering these questions. So please, please, please don't just look for high-level words in a dictionary and try to use them in your answer. Your answer should be natural. Sometimes it's okay to use that high-level word, but a lot of times I see students misusing the vocabulary, which lowers their vocab score. It's good that you're trying to reach high, but make sure you use it correctly. Okay. Yes. When it comes to use tool, so let's fix the grammar really fast. So when it comes to which tool, or when it comes to the tools that I use at work, I almost always, this is a really common mistake that I see people say, you need to say both almost and always. So I almost always communicate with my coworkers using, okay. So let me write what he said. And this is another really common thing that I see. Is people trying to use very general things when a specific answer would be a lot better. So if you know the name of the software that you use, you should say it. Also, it's perfectly okay to it's perfectly okay to use a non-English word, especially if it's the name of something, like a name of a food or of an app, as long as you also explain what it is, which is a common messaging app used in my country for work. So don't be afraid to occasionally use a word from your own language, as long as you are saying, this is a word from my language. This is the name of an app that is common in my country. And it's the same with food. If you know the name of the food in English, yeah, use the English word. But sometimes there is a food, or there's a piece of software, or there's an app or a program that only has a name in your language. You can use it, again, as long as it's very clear that you're saying blah, 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 the name of the app, which is an app that we use, so that it's really clear that I'm using English to explain what this word is. Okay, so here we go. When it comes to the tools that I use at work, again, I added a relative clause. I highly recommend, Jaylin, that you grab a grammar book and learn about relative clauses. It will really help strengthen your grammar score. I almost always communicate with my coworkers using Slack, using Skype, via, which is another way to say through Weibo. Okay, so again, I recommend clauses. This is what I recommend you look up. Jaylin, thank you so much for giving that answer. You are also a super student for doing so. All right, guys, and let's keep going. Part 3 question. And by the way, it looks like these two will be the last two that we do for part 3. And then really quickly, before I sign off, I'm going to give you a strategy that will help you with your part 2. By the way, if you guys are interested in more of these, after the stream is over, please leave a comment saying, please, please, please do another speaking. This time I'm going to raise the bar. I'm going to say that I need 7 comments. If 7 people leave a comment on this video after the live stream is over saying, please do another speaking, and also say the category or the topic for speaking that you would like us to do, I will do another one this week, probably on Saturday, but we'll see. So remember, if you guys are liking this, if you find this useful, please leave a comment. Leave a comment on the video. Let me go to another video so that you guys can see what I mean. Go there, leave a comment and say, please do another stream about, and let's see, what's a common topic that people need or like? About, I don't know, clothes? About my neighborhood? about anything, you can put it there. But I will need 7 people to leave a comment on this video saying, please do another one of these. And don't forget to hit that like button. All right, guys, so let's keep going. We have 2 more to do for part 3. About history. Good one. So leave a comment saying that, and I will be sure to. But let's do your answer, and then Raghav's answer, and then I'll give you a really quick tip for part 2. All right. So, part 3 question. Well, to be honest, I'm not a tech geek. Okay, so this is the same one as up here. Do you think technological advancements are positive or negative? All right, let's put that down here. And by the way, thank you everyone who has been watching. Even if you just watched for a short time, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have an audience, and I'm glad to help people out. Okay. An endomotor. I actually don't know what that is, but let's take a look. So, well, to be honest, nice. This is perfectly fine. Well, to be honest, I'm not a tech geek, but I usually opt for the latest tech pursuance. Okay. To the science articles or recommendations. Okay. I'm not sure what this means. Or recommendations from my friends. Okay. So, we need to use some periods here. So recommendations from my friends of useful electronic gadgets for my profession. Okay. For instance, scalars, endomotors, and motorbikes. Okay. For instance, so we need to be specific here. For instance, I often get scalars, endomotors. So we should probably say new scalars, endomotors, and motorbikes. And we're going to change this based on their recommendations. Okay. Oh no! I'm sorry. It's for the wrong one again. Okay. I guess we're gonna do a new. I'm gonna ask you guys to follow a new format where, just like Julia was doing, put the question first and then put your answer. I'm so sorry. I just get caught up with answering these questions. So, let's see. You were answering the question. Oh, it's a combination of 2 answers. Ah, okay. Well, okay. Let me see if I can break those up. What? That's true. I'm sorry, Julia. I'll try to find a way to fix this. That is a very good critique. And, oh my goodness. Oh no, this is even worse. I did not combine 2 of Bin's answers. I combined Bin and Raghav's answer. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. It wasn't even 2 answers from the same person. It was 2 different people's answers that I put together. Okay. That is absolutely terrible of me. I'm so sorry. Use of... Okay, well, we can put them together. and fix it like this. So there you go. I made magic happen. I think what this means is that this live stream should probably be coming to an end because I am clearly making mistakes now. So guys, thank you so much for all of your answers to these questions. This is exactly what I want you guys to do. If you guys want, you guys can also, remember there are many part 3 questions that we haven't answered. If you guys want, you guys can give your own answers to these questions as comments. And in the next video, before we get started, I will have a short segment where I correct them live in the next speaking live stream. Again, remember we need 7 people for the next live stream to happen. So tell your friends we want a live stream, and also tell me the topic. Right now it sounds like someone wants me to do history. I can totally do that. Really fast, what I want to teach you about part 2 is a lot of students are really afraid of part 2 because you need to talk by yourself for 2 minutes without the examiner saying anything. And you have 1 minute to prepare, but I can't tell you how many times I saw, especially a lower level student, use that 1 minute, they just look at the question and they didn't write anything down. And then, of course, during these practice IELTS exams, they couldn't talk for the whole 2 minutes. The card that you get does have 4 questions on it, but you can answer all 4 of those questions in no time at all. Like 30 seconds, you can answer all 4 of the questions they give you on the card. This is a strategy that I recommend you guys do when you guys are preparing in that 1 minute. So you guys can do mind maps. That's something a lot of teachers teach, and I do recommend it sometimes. But another strategy that you guys can use is, instead of thinking of answers during that 1 minute, to make sure that you have enough to talk about, I recommend you guys come up with questions. This is the question method. In fact, me and Phil have done a video on this. If you guys want to go find it and give us some views, let's see if I can do so. This is not it. Okay, so we do have a video. I'll find it and put it in the comments for you guys. But what you guys should do, set a timer for 1 minute and come up with as many questions as you can about the prompt that are separate from the 4 that they give you. So describe a piece of hazardous equipment that you have used in the past, when I used it, why I had to use it, who else used it. Do you guys see how it's not only about me. These are just other things that you can have details for in your answers. When I used it, why I had to use it, why it was dangerous, and then maybe under that, a story about someone else who was hurt, how I was hurt, if you got hurt, and then how it is, or how about this one, what it does, and then, so we talked about how dangerous it was, what it does, when I used it, why I used it. Can you guys think of any more questions that we can answer? Hazardous equipment. Where I used it. And then who else used it? Okay. Why I had to use it. Why is it dangerous? Okay. So I hope you guys can see it does not take very long to come up with these questions. You guys should come up with these questions in 1 minute. And just like everything else, this is a skill. If you have trouble coming up with questions to answer during this part of the test, I recommend you go to lawnmower. Nice. Yes. Can be dangerous. So come up with the questions with a partner. I want you guys to remember that we actually have we actually have a Discord channel, and we want you guys to go over and use it when you can. Our Discord channel is down here. And as you can see, it is a cool place where me and Phil will be happy to say hi. When you have an account, you'll be able to come in very quick, very easy. We also have practice rooms where you guys can go over and practice speaking. And then if you guys have any questions, you guys can leave them down here, and me and Phil will be happy to answer them as well. Something you guys can do is go into these chat rooms and then come up with questions for different prompts. This is something you can practice, and you have no excuse because we have this free chat room for you guys to go over and talk together. Again, coming up with questions is a skill. It usually takes students a little while to be able to come up with a lot of good questions, but once you can do it very quickly, then it's really easy to talk about something for 2 minutes, so long as you have enough questions. All right, guys, unfortunately that brings us to the end. Remember, guys, you guys can do it. The IELTS exam is difficult, but you guys are super students. I believe in you guys. You just got to put in the work. All right, guys, remember tonight at 7 Taiwan time, let's check out the full schedule. Tonight at 7 Taiwan time, Phil is going to be also doing a live stream. Today is the 14th, so we can see Monday at 7. Phil will be doing one of the most difficult types of task ones. Everybody hates pie charts. Everyone sucks at pie charts. If you suck at pie charts, come say hi to Phil at 7 p.m. He will be very happy to see you. Be brave. Put your own sentences in there just like you did today. I believe in you guys. And I will see you guys in the future. Maybe in Discord. See you next time. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being so awesome and active. Bye.